What are your names and what role do you play in the band?
My name is Mike Salerno. I play guitar and I sing backup vocals.
In Gemini Syndrome.
In Gemini Syndrome.
My name is Rich Jusbick and I play guitar in Gemini Syndrome.
How would you describe your band?
I'll describe it as a combination of music that the people have been missing for a little bit. A little bit of heavy, a little bit of soft, a little bit of sweet, a little bit of spicy. But something you can bob your head to, and something that you can show your mom and dad at the same time.
Our band is the United Nations. Asian, Puerto Rican, Italian, albino,
Tennessee.
Southern. That's our band. Our band is an amalgamate of lots of different flavors.
What did you know about acoustic amps before you got one?
I had a friend who had an acoustic bass amp a couple years ago, and he really liked it. And I'd seen it around, but I never really never really looked into it because I'm not a bass player. But as soon as I heard about it, I was like, oh yeah, acoustic amps. Putting all the guitar on, what's this like? So I got excited.
My history with acoustic, I don't have a history with acoustic, but I know about acoustic. That makes any sense. No, acoustic is a brand name that I knew about. I knew it was kind of a legendary name, like Led Zeppelin, The Doors. They used acoustic back in the day. So it's one of those things where I knew about it, but it wasn't like really, I guess, a modern known amp or brand. So it's kind of those things, outside, out of mind. Didn't really realize that I knew about it. And then when I heard about acoustic, I was like, oh yeah, that brand. So it had some street cred to it because I remember from the past that it wasn't a good name and a quality product. So I was excited to see what it had in store for the future and get to work with it.
Okay. What do you like about the amps?
The thing I like about the acoustic amps is these are solid states. Normally I don't like solid state, but these ones can compete with many tube amps. And they're really all around good tone. If you want something dirty and crunchy, they can do that. If you want something super shreddy and high and low end and cut out the mids, they can handle that too. And we do a lot of low tunings, and they've been able to handle that. And it's hard to find amps that can really handle a drop A. So I like them for that.
What I like about the acoustic solid state amps is that they don't seem like solid state. With most solid state amps, they're lacking any kind of depth, and the distortion is kind of weak, brittle. These amps handle all of the tones a lot better. I'm just totally surprised that they actually sound as good as they do, especially for the price. It's always a good ratio of price to tone. I grew up on smaller practice solid state amps, and in high school, and before I got to be a big kid and have to. And if these amps were out when I was younger, I'd have been way more excited to play guitar.
Can you show us how you dial up your sound and maybe play a little?
I pretty much start from the bottom up. Over here, I like to set up my dirty channel first. Start with my gain, kind of figure out where I want it to be. Normally I'll cut everything flat, and I'll work with my gain, kind of see what I want it to. Normally I keep it about 1 o'clock at the 6. It starts down here, you work your way up. Keep my volume down to just a moderate hearing level, and then start with the bass. The bass is important, because you don't want to get too much frequency, too much treble in there before you get the bass in. So you have the depth and the cojones to it, if you will. And then work your way through the mids, and then up the line. So you can get, find what frequencies you like.
Can you turn the knobs a little and show me the exact settings?
The exact settings?
Yeah.
I keep my gain right about here. for a room like this, you know, keep my volume right about the 9:30, 10 o'clock, right here. My channel here on the rhythm. This is the volume for this is for the lead. This is the volume for the rhythm channel for the clean. Here I got the bass. I like a good bit of bass and with the oomph to it. And then mids, we have a very punchy tone, so we keep these mids up there pretty good. And the frequency, we don't have a whole lot of high end, and the treble really kind of handles that. And we like to have this crisp a tone as we want. So I like to have the frequency pretty low, and then the treble kind of around here at 11 o'clock. So we don't have so much high end. Keeps those for our low tunings. These are kind of like an open B tuning. We use 3 different tunings, and so for keeping the low end in this, we like to have these trebles, you know, not too screaming.
Cool. I may have to go back and like just film that in a static shot.
Okay.
So yeah, it's kind of tricky to edit.
Yeah.
So all right, Rich.
How do I get my tone? So, starts with guitar. Then I go to the amp. We are using 3 different tunings, an A tuning, a B tuning, a C sharp tuning. The first thing I think about when I'm looking at the tone is making sure there's clarity, but still like the growl for the distortion tone. Our lower tunings have like that low end growl, but we're not completely tuned out. It's kind of a hybrid tuning. So I try to make sure there's still clarity and there's big open chords and clarity. So when I get in here, you know, I have that in mind to make sure there's still that mid-range and the clarity. So I come in, you know, the knobs are where they're at. So right here is the gain. With these amps, you know, we put it about 70%, because if you have too much gain, if you get up to there, it's just muddy. So you put it about here so you get as much growl out of it as possible without over distorting. Volume, you know, it just depends on the room. Clean channel, try to put it relative to the distortion channel. Although the majority of our stuff is distorted, so that's kind of our starting point, is being on the distortion and then matching the clean channel to that. So, since it's a solid state, it makes it kind of easy. And the fact that we can pretty much just kind of even them out. Some tube stuff is a little bit harder to do because the gain channels are a little bit different. Since we're in the lower tunings, we need some of that bottom end. We don't want too much because it gets muddy, so the bass is a little bit halfway. Like I said, we have a lot of mid with these songs and the tuning, so we have the mids high. And treble, same thing, a little bit higher, create the clarity, openness, because the focus isn't just chugging away on the low notes. So we have big full chords, so you know, if you can see everything's kind of across the board. And one thing I've found out about these amps is that you have this entire bank right here of effects, and if you turn this, it changes between the different effects that are listed right here on the side, and then the level of how it blends. And the one thing that I found is that this way it's set right now, I can add a little bit of like either chorus or phaser to the overall tone of the amp, and it helps bring out, you know, just I guess what I hear in my head, the certain frequencies and vibe. You know, sometimes you can get carried away, use too many effects, and especially with rhythm tone, it's kind of, I guess, today most people don't use a lot of effects on their main distortion tone. But I found that with this amp, it helps add a little extra flavor without being too distracting, too crazy, and so it helps dial it in right here, just with the level, blends it in. I mean, this is all the way up, but I've got it right here just enough to put a little punch to it without sounding like 1987. So that's kind of my thinking on this head.
Cool. Probably when we're done, I'm gonna have to like zoom in or bring the tripod over and like film those. And if you could just like this, and then I'll use your voice and like and then walk down the.
That's fine.
You guys, that was really thorough. Thanks.
Yeah.
That was awesome. So, all right. Let me see if I was in the shop. Nope. Good. You guys want to play some stuff?
Okay.
Yeah. Just I don't know. Show us some sound.
Part of the song or something?
We'll go through like the first verse and chorus and basement.
Okay.
And then after that, maybe just do 20 seconds of noodling each in our own way.
That'd be awesome.
So So. I guess the cool thing about playing that is, I mean, we're doing a couple different things where we're, you know, playing a little riffy thing. And so it's kind of go between just chords and strumming and palm muting and some harmonics. So it's I guess, kind of a rock 101 of different little tricks to the trade. Okay. You want to wail?
You guys ever use clean channel with these?
Yes. I was waiting for us to answer that.
Ah, yes.
I figured you to block it off and go one by one. So now, we go to clean. So you hear the hum, and the hum's gone because we're in clean now. So you see the clean. We have our effects stuff. So now it's a little bit easier to distinguish the effects. So just for this purpose, I'll turn the level all the way up just so we can hear the effects. We'll go through really quickly. This is the small room. We'll change figures. Medium room. Large room. The big room. And then small hall. Is that something? too big. Hold on, arena rock. Oh, and then we got slap back to leg. Oh, wow. It's like you want to do like a YouTube. That was really bad edge. And then, ooh, short delay. So if you want to.
Pretty good.
Yeah. And then medium delay. Long delay. Echo verb. What's that? Slow chorus. So pull up your step couple pilots on that. Medium chorus. Fast chorus. Chorus verb. Ooh, that's. So those are all the effects.
You totally walked us through every effect.
I've aimed to please.
Yeah. Which ones would you say you use or do you?
I mean, right now I'm realizing that any of the courses,
Yeah.
I mean, it's all relative, obviously, to the level going up, but I'm realizing that the choruses add a little bit of, I guess, that mid-range we were talking about with our tone specifically, and they're helping to kind of bring out some things in the amp that sound like what I'm used to before I ever played these amps. So it's making it a little more versatile, fun to build different things, help the flavors come out.
All right. Now we're going to talk about the actual band.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was awesome. What are your fans like?
They're sinners. Our fans are sinners.
We call our fans sinners. Syndrome, sinners.
Because we're all sinners. Our fans are awesome. We have a bunch of bleeding tattoos of the symbol, like the forearms and legs and different things. Gemini Syndrome fans are real fans. They're real people. They like us for us.
All right. Tell us something we don't know about Gemini Syndrome.
What do you think? Oh, nobody in the band is a Gemini.
Yeah, it's true.
And
Something you also might know is we all live together and we all love each other very dearly.
I like you
Yeah,
too.
you're all right.
Thank you.
Who and what are some of your creative influences?
Some of my creative influences, I grew up in Tennessee, a lot of blues, a lot of classic rock. Everything from Stevie Ray Vaughan to Steve Vai, Steve's, both Steve's. And then, I grew up in the Bible Belt, so Creed was a big thing. So Marching Money had a lot of influence when I was younger. In terms of influence today,
Aaron Nordstrom.
yeah, Aaron Nordstrom, big influence.
Influences. I was a young kid listening to pop because I listened to the radio. You don't know any better. And then when I started to actually be an active participant in my music listening, you know, it's like the 12 Apostles. You know, there's only a couple of them. Like the Black Sabbath, the Jimi Hendrix, the Led Zeppelin. Start off there and then move forward. And after that, I always just kind of say that it's like a lot of blues and us fest. Just go generation by generation, because that's the time we grew up and things happened. So all those bands in one big mixing stew. Can't be too specific because, you know, when you listen to more than one band, it all kind of soaks into you and helps add to it.
How do you handle life on the road?
Carefully. Handling life on the road. Life on the road is what we all aim to do, and we all tried to get here. So handling it's just doing it. It's not even handling. It's just what we wanted to do.
Yeah. Being on the road is tough, but you know, if you know that music is what you want to do, as soon as you've been on the road a couple times and you know what you're getting yourself into, with being in a van or a truck with a bunch of guys every day and not getting any personal space for the most part, you know, you learn your ways to work around it. You know, if you go for a run or if you just go to a different side of the truck stop than everybody else, you know, and stay on the phone when you get a chance. You know, but when it comes down the road, if you're with guys or people that you like and you get along with, then it's not so bad. You just got to be open to not having much personal space.
Really, overall, it's just being aware. If you're aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it, then you can make anything work.
Keep your mess to a minimum, you'll be alright.
Okay, what's the food like on the road?
What kind of food are you eating?
Lots of pizza.
Lots of pizza.
We would like to eat better. We intend to eat better, but circumstances don't always allow us to eat better. So the food is American food. And by American food, I mean fast food. And I'm not proud of that at all. Can't wait till someday we can eat well and be on the road at the same time. Someday.
Yeah, I'd say me and Rich are the biggest eaters in the band, and we'll eat just about anything, just about anything. Yeah, as long as it's got flavor.
Stop giving away our secrets.
But yeah, we try to find something cool in every town. You know, obviously not every town has some special food-wise, but if we do come across a cool restaurant that you can't find anywhere else, and we try to dig in and get their specials and see what's good out there.
I'm a big fan of that TV show Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives on Food Network, and I look at it like being on tour when possible. It's not always possible based on our schedule where we're at, but whenever possible, I try to live by that TV show with the idea that you're on the road and you find unique places to eat that are indigenous to the area. It's hard, but whenever possible, we do try to do that to break up our fast foodness. I hate it.
I was kind of trying to get the Rocky Mountain oysters.
Oh
yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where you don't always want to talk about it, but I feel like we have to talk about it. We were in Loveland, Colorado, and we had something called Rocky Mountain oysters. And for people out there that don't know, there's no ocean in Colorado. So oysters aren't oysters in Colorado. Just warning. And we ate Rocky Mountain oysters, and actually it wasn't bad. I don't know if I'll do it again, but it wasn't bad.
They were good. I liked it. I would eat a whole bag.
But it came with cocktail sauce, so it adds to the entire seafood thing that's not seafood.
All right. What's the key to a good light show?
The key to a good light show, having lights and a way to control them. To me, the key to a good light show is understanding what you're working with, which is whether it be music or if you're like in theater, you know, it's understanding the art that you're working with and understanding basic principles of lighting and color. You know, like red's angry, green means like, you know, healthy and alive, blue, sickly or sad. You know, understanding those things. So when you're listening to music and you're trying to put lighting to music, you understand those feelings and vibes and undertones in the music and translating that through a visual, so it helps. It's like the icing on the cake. It just takes what you've already got and helps present it even better, and so it translates even easier to people, makes it more impactful. So to me, that's the key with lighting is understanding what you're working with and why you're doing it. And then after that, you can adapt to any rig or song. Doesn't matter what it is, you can do it.
Do you have a method for putting a song together?
I think to myself, I want to write something that doesn't suck. Method for writing is usually just like I think most people do writing is they just play and then something grabs their ear and they move with it and they develop it. So to me, that's just the general way to write a song is you strike a chord with yourself, a feeling, and move from there and develop it. For me, when I'm writing stuff, if I do something that makes me, I guess, hear or feel something, I usually associate with other things, whether it be other songs or movies or just whatever, in my past or my life, and I guess I kind of think about how that made me feel. Like when you watch a movie, you know, and you laugh or you get sad, it hits you a certain way. So when you think about it, you know, what you kind of say to yourself, well, if I'm writing this song, how can I make since I'm kind of feeling it's going that direction, what would I do to like enhance that, to really show that that's where it's going and build off of it. And that's kind of how it develops, is like soundtracking, making movies in your head as you're playing the notes and feeling it and building.
Alright. For me, it's the same thing. You know, when I think about writing a song, I take a mood and I try to portray that. You know, however that goes. If I want to write something that's heavy and chunky and it makes me want to punch something or go to the gym, you know, then I take that mood and I try to channel that. If I want something I want to cry about, and I try to cry a little bit.
Like suck it up, say boys don't cry.
Yeah, exactly.
Boys don't cry.
But yeah, we're not really a 6-minute progressive anthem song kind of band. We like to have structure. In terms of formula, it's, you know, quick into the verse, you know, say what needs, you know, give the idea, and then get into the chorus and give something they can hold on to. You know, an idea, a concept that can be said in, you know, in a couple seconds.
Okay. What artists would you like to work with?
Salvador Dali. Emerald Lagasse. He's a food artist.
I think you're hungry, maybe.
Yeah, really hungry.
Yeah, you got food on the brain.
Artists. I mean,
we're all Deftones fans.
I mean,
Name 7 Dust fans.
Name every band that you've ever been into as a kid, and yeah, I want to work with them. Put me on some big festival show with all of them.
You know, like Ozzy Osbourne, that'd be cool. It'd be fun.
I mean, really, honestly, I'd like to work with any artist that has accomplished something and I can learn from, and that whole vibe of like we're doing something, we're contributing to the overall vibe of what live music is, and creating songs and all that. You know, there's so many different versions and variations of that because there's so many different styles of music and different people, that really just any artist that really cares about what they're doing and has made some kind of mark that has that kind of intangible energy to them, that's just anyone I want to be around.
Okay, almost done. Okay, this is the last question.
Alright, it's the big one. It's the big one.
What is next for Gemini syndrome?
Okay? Well, there's literally, we're leaving here and we're gonna go eat. That's what's next for Gemini syndrome.
We're gonna eat a lot.
We're gonna eat a lot.
Eat a lot.
We're gonna take Kelly to the airport, who's been helping fill in on base while AP's out of the country. That's literally what's gonna happen. Tomorrow, we're playing in Iowa. We're in Chicago right now. Everyone, all you people out there.
Guitar Center in Chicago. Check it out.
But I know that's not the answer you want. So the real answer is we're going to tour and tour some more. We are on this tour with Avalon and Stitched Apart until September 25th. We'll be back in LA for 2 days. Then we go out with Wayne Static from September 27th to October 10th. It's his first tour as a solo artist, not as Static X. Then we get home for about a week. Then we go out again for tour. And we have some dates in the Kansas, Missouri area. There's some other dates that we're waiting to get confirmation on in Texas, Louisiana, Florida. So it's possible we'll be out until middle of November. And then after that, the big thing is we're going to hit the studio and finish up the record, get it all together so that we can release everything next year.
All right. Okay, I'm cutting on this camera. And what I'm going to do is bring this one over and get close-ups of the amps.
Sure.
Yeah. And then it's done. That was awesome.
Really?
I'm going to edit it down quite a bit, so stuff will be chopped, but yeah.
You better not also cut my sentence together to say that I like
I
that.
love Matt. It's awesome.
That's what it says. I'm going to be like, dude, we're coming for you.
I ate Kelly in the airport. Really hungry.
What's my motivation?
I think your motivation is here are some settings on an amplifier, and you can kind of.
Well, I'll hit a chord and then like let it.
Do you want me to play and you can?
Well, I'll just say it. I was just gonna go.
Yeah.
Do you want me to
Actually,
play?
this is just like an insert edit. So
So
you've already kind of walked through your settings, but I didn't get a good close-up
Oh.
of that. So you could just be like, you know, gesture to the different
Okay.
knobs.
Alright, well, so just start turning.
Yeah, just maybe adjust it. Set them where you were telling us to set them for your sounds. Those are the effects. Let me get real close on that. Can you switch through? Yeah, because you walk through each of them. If you could go start at 0 and kind of flip it. Excellent. I gotta blow my cabinet back. So basically, you're gonna walk through. You don't have to really say anything, but yeah, just kind of dial it to where you ended up setting them.
Oh, so should I start at 0? Should
I thought you just walked to the first time. It is
you know,
what
or
it is.
just get to where you ended up.
start here. Start again.
Ta-da! Consider being a hand model?
You like that?
That was amazing.
I thought I did pretty good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It was really good.
It's awesome. So did you film that whole thing?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Can I capture that to a computer? Is that possible?
Yeah.
I can capture it and then I'll put up and give it to you. Because we gotta transfer all the stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Other drives. So if you can go find a desk, and some power.
Yeah, I think we could do it in here. We've kind of commandeered their platinum.
Alright, well then let me
This is our office.
plug it all in.
Cool. So you're good.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm good. Unless there's anything else you guys want to grab or something.
Do you want to have us say like acoustic amps or shit?
Oh,
That's
you know-
not nice.
Do it like in a
Gemini syndrome
in a
uses it.
PG and PG way.
If you, well, I think kind of the interview you guys did say that. Okay. Excuse that.
You guys got a photo shoot going on?
Yeah.
Video.
Are you? Oh, sorry. We're. They are selling these guitars.
Huh?
They are selling all these guitars. We're just kind of hogging the room. Are you looking for one in particular?
Oh yeah, I'm looking.
I guess the store's open. Yeah, you know, we got you guys saying acoustic is.
Acoustic.
Yeah. So, I
Alright.
think we're good.
Alright, well.
Let's wrap it.
We'll start getting this computer secure.
It sounds like you guys get some food now.
Yeah, at some point.